We are back covering a major fight expected to break out tonight over Donald Trump's Supreme Court pick. This announcement is now within 3 hours, and I'm joined by Democratic Senator Sheldon Whitehouse of Rhode Island, who serves on that pivotal Judiciary Committee. Thank you for joining me on this important night. What do you want to hear from the president tonight?
That he's going to appoint Merrick Garland.
And if he doesn't, and he picks someone like the names that are rumored, what is your message to him, and how do you build a coalition to stop a nominee that you think is not acceptable?
I think that we have to look just a little bit beyond the nominee themselves and tell the story of a nominations process that is dominated by special interests that want to be reassured that they will win in court in cases, that the judge needs to be amenable to the things that they want. We see just immense pressure being brought to bear in the judiciary, that the committee process has become something of a joke, and you see all this dark money spending as if it were a creepy political campaign. And then after the fact, you get the judge on the Supreme Court, and every time they make a decision, if it matters to the big special interests, these so-called amici, friends of the court, show up and file amicus briefs that basically are the operating instructions for the 5 Republicans on the court, telling them what these people want. And when you put that whole story together, you get a situation where you got Americans walking up the courthouse steps into that courtroom who stand a reasonable chance of being able to anticipate that they will lose, not because of the merits of their case, but because of who they represent, who they are. And that ought not to be. And the more people understand that larger story, that it's not about this one individual, but it's about a whole process by which special interests have captured the court, that's the tale that they need to know.
And you think if that story gets out, you could bring another Republican over to your side on this one?
I think it's possible. I think that the likeliest case is that it builds so that in the future we don't go down this road so readily. We cannot be in a position where we don't take up arms and engage on this issue, on the politicization of the court, until there's a vacancy on the Supreme Court. We've got to let the public know what's really going on here, because it's not a healthy story, not for our courts, not for our country.
But does Mitch McConnell ultimately get rewarded for, as many Democrats in your caucus have put it, stealing a seat from Obama and then not having to play by the same rules if they can ram this through?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And if you look at the other cycle that he is in, you've got a Republican-controlled Supreme Court with 5 justices that did the Citizens United decision, which opened up unlimited political money, which then fell in on Democratic Senate candidates like Evan Bayh and Russ Feingold and Governor Strickland, and so massacred them so early in the race that their double-digit leads shrank away and they all lost, and that's why Mitch is now the majority leader. So the court that he appointed has given him and his backers the unlimited money and dark money power that has kept him as majority leader. So the whole thing smells.
You mentioned Russ Feingold, who we also heard from tonight on The Beat. My final question for you, do you think there will be an up or down vote on this nominee before the midterm elections?
Oh, I think they're eager to make sure that that happens, and I think they'll move heaven and earth to try to push for that. We'll see whether they can pull that off or not. We ought not to allow them to ramrod the procedure as well as ramrod the candidate.
Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.